Alright y'all, so for this video we just wanted to show you kind of what we put for our chickens' bedding and their nesting boxes, and then 2, what we feed them. We know that there's been a lot of talk recently about people feeding their chickens things from Tractor Supply or other big companies, and they have stopped laying in the winter, which normally that's a chicken thing anyways. They don't lay as much in the winter. However, people are noticing, since they're saying this food isn't as pure, that their chickens are having trouble and they're not producing, and they've even stopped laying altogether. Fortunately, that is not the case for our chickens. So basically we got our chickens from Tractor Supply, and that's where we've been getting our food for them. And we get anywhere from 18 to 30 something eggs every week or 2. Just to show you, we're placing the bedding. So
hey baby, here's another egg.
Oh,
It hung on somehow. It hung on.
Alright. So there we go. So in just this span of, when did we last check eggs, baby? Thursday?
Either Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay. And it's Sunday now. We've already gotten 3, 6, 9, a whole dozen. And luckily we're not experiencing that issue. So I just wanted to show you what we do to take care of our chickens, what we feed them, kind of let you know that we're having a great time and it's not been an issue so far. So when James built this mobile coop, we thought it was very important to have access to the nesting boxes from the back, so that we didn't always have to bother the chickens if we didn't want to. That's kind of what this board is right here. It's able to be removed so that we could scrape off the chicken goodness and poo and all that good stuff and be able to give them fresh bedding. What we use for bedding is just these pine shavings. Again, we got that from Tractor Supply. The reason we went with that was because when we got our chicks, that's what they were in, that's what they were used to, and it helped keep their footing in the little pen. So we just stuck with it, and they seem to like it.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
As you can see, when we're ready, we just push that back in. Will you hold that, baby?
Yep.
And then we have 4 nesting boxes, but they seem to only use like 2.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
They like lay in 2, and then they use the bathroom in the other one. So, but we go ahead and line them all. There's definitely not a science for how much we put in there. We just shove it in, right?
Yep.
When it's really, really cold, when we were like in the 7 degrees and like 16 and all that stuff, we put extra hay in here just to keep them warm, make sure they're good. Have we mentioned our plan about getting more chickens, babe?
No, I don't think so.
No? Tell them the plan.
You tell them the plan.
So the plan is we are going to get more chickens. We really like the chickens. We like the eggs, the self-sustainability. But with that, of course, we're going to be required to build a bigger coop. We can't get any more in this coop. So that's going to be one of our projects in the near future, probably this spring. Maybe not this spring.
It depends on the building, how the building goes, because it's going to be added onto the back of the building.
True. We're also building a like workshop, building, shed situation. But our plan is to build a lean-to onto the back of that, and then have room for more chickens. The plan is to have like a rotating chicken thing, system, I guess you could say. When these girls start to get older, obviously they're not going to lay as much. So we just want to have some ready to go to start laying to take their place. And our plan, some might not like this, we plan to feed our family in whatever means we need. So if our chickens are no longer laying, then they might become a meal. But we knew that coming into this. We want to be self-sustainable, and that's part of that. You got to just know what it takes to eat. There we go. I think that's good.
Yeah, definitely.
In just a second, we'll take you on the inside with the chickens and let you see what we actually feed them. Alright. So for our food, right now what we're feeding them is we've got these, they're called laying pellets. They're for chickens who lay. It's supposed to give them all their grains and nutrients. You can see bits of corn in these things. So we give them usually 2 cups. So we put them at the top of this feeder. We got this feeder from Tractor Supply. We're very loyal shoppers. I've noticed that about us, babe. So in this pellets, I kind of mix in some of their scratch green just to give them a little something different. And then of course top it off with the pellets. And then just give it a bit of a shake. We also have the waterer from Tractor Supply. I know, girls. And then for any kind of chicken, especially that's free range or even one that's in a coop, it's important to have grit. They have to keep that in their stomachs. That's what grinds up their food and helps process anything that they eat. They're a little bit different from humans, of course. We all know that. But some people like straight up grit, which is like grounded up and crushed granite and rocks. Usually if they're able to like completely free range, they can find their own grit. But since we keep them kind of contained, we give them the grit. Some people even use oyster shells depending on your preference and what the chicken is. I honestly don't know which one's better to use. So we use both of them. Sometimes I give them one, sometimes I give them the other, sometimes I put them together. And that's what I'm gonna do today since both of them are kind of nearing the end of their life. They're kind of running low. So when you get ready, you gotta get ready to dash in with all of the food in the cup. It's always super fun because they are hungry girls. Come on, girls. Back my way. Back my way. I know. Will you come over here? So that always goes behind their steps. That's just for a personal preference. We kind of sprinkle the corn all throughout. I know what they really want. Babe, can you hand me the delicious treats there? Alright, come on girls. And also, can you hand me the water? Come on girls. Now they might be occupied. You could probably open the door. Maybe. If not, just catch. Alright, so I bought these awesome little containers from Amazon. They just hook onto the side of the chicken wire here. We put their grit in one, and then we put these awesome treats. So from day one, I made it a point to spoil our chickens. I wanted to make sure that I could get in here with them, touch them, and them not peck me or totally lose it. So that's been my goal, and so far it's been working greatly. Turns out all it takes is a little bit of treats to do that. So we were buying just bags of mealworms from Tractor Supply. However, we could no longer afford that. It's very expensive. Like, what was it, babe? For 4 pounds, it was 50 bucks?
I think so. I think it was around either 40 or 50, somewhere in there.
Something like that. But turns out, if you go to Lowe's, they actually have chicken food, chicken treats, all kinds of different things. And so we get this mealworm and sunflower treats, and they love it. Bernie here. That one's Bernie. This is Bernie's favorite. As you can see her run to it. Again, I don't know the exact of how much treats they're supposed to have a week. So I fill up this black cup and let them go to town. There you go. Now, we introduced you to our chickens a long time ago, but just to reintroduce you, Edna is this beautiful one. Oh, you know, she's a little skittish. We're working on it. Bernie is our blonde girl over here. I named her Bernadette after the character off of Big Bang Theory. And then we have Myrtle, and then that one's Mabel. I wanted old lady names. I'm sorry if you have this name and that's offensive, but that's what I wanted, so that's what I went with. Also, Edna is named after the little short black-haired lady off of The Incredibles. So there's that fun fact. All right. Now we fill up their grit. I know, Bernie. And then you try to get out without stepping on chicken.
Watch, get that cup, baby.
Oh, yeah. Fun fact, every time we feed chickens, I always leave at least one cup in the pen with them.